Good evening, and thank you for coming. I know it's a little bit rainy and not so pleasant outside. So would like to talk today about stress hormones, and weight gain seems to be like a very popular topic nowadays, and I have a lot to share. I've been dealing with this problem with my clients for a while, more than 15 years, so it seems to be like a very common topic with a lot of females. I deal with hormonal imbalances, and that topic keeps coming up, so we decided to do a seminar because that's what seems to be a very topic that affects a lot of people. So I will be talking about stress and its effects on the hormones and weight loss, understanding hormones. I'm going to discuss a little bit of that, different causes of weight gain, and then I promise I will give you a blueprint on what could be done and what solution could be found on resolving your weight, or is it related to hormones or whatever is related to. So let's start with food. What is purpose of food? What do we need to eat for? To nourish us, right? So which is eaten to sustain life, provide energy, and promote growth and repair of tissues. Is that the case nowadays with food? Unfortunately not, right? We are using it as a pleasure. We're using it if we're stressed. We're using food as a substitution for something else that we're having. And this is samples of food that's being eaten nowadays. And we have real food. I don't know which side we prefer to be real food. We have one food that has all the fruits, vegetables, and kind of seems to be on the healthy side. And we have food that's consisting more on the processed food that's very popular nowadays. And that seems to be like one of the problems that people are having with weight nowadays. When plant is wilting, so let's talk a little bit more. What do we usually say or do when plant is melting? What is the cause? It needs water. What else?
Or the soil.
Sunlight, right? Nutrients, and maybe toxins are causing it to wilt, right? When our body gets sick, what do we usually say? What do we need? What do we do when we get sick?
Chicken soup.
Right, a chicken soup or take medication. So when the plant is melting, do we say that it needs medication? No, we look at water, nutrition, trying to get rid of toxins. So that's not how we look at our body. I'm not sure why, but that seems to be happening overall. So our healthcare system is partially to blame for it, and I'm a medical healthcare professional, so I'm partially blamed for it too, because mentality is when someone comes to me, what is a medical condition? What do I need to do with it? What drugs do I need to prescribe? Instead of looking at nutrition, instead of looking at maybe toxins that are affecting our body, we look at it in the wrong way. And that's unfortunately what's causing the healthcare crisis that we have right now, right? Everybody agree that we have a healthcare crisis right now? We're spending a lot of money. We're investing a lot of money in medicine and technology. But population, instead of getting healthy, it's actually getting worse and worse and worse. More people are sick nowadays. More people are getting overweight, have diabetes, or many other problems, right? So we're trying to look if there's a connection now for thyroid, diabetes, hormonal imbalances. And the treatment, unfortunately, is to prescribe medication. But what caused this to begin with? Is it lack of medication that caused you to have diabetes? Is it lack of medication that caused you to have hypertension? Or was there something else? Is it lack of medication that caused you to have hormonal imbalances and losing weight? That's not the case, right? So why we're not looking at the root cause? Why we're looking at quick solution that might lower your blood pressure, might lower your cholesterol, might lower your sugar, but is not addressing the actual cause of it? Why we're not looking at our body as we look at plants, which needs nutrition, water, sunlight, everything that we need technically as well too. So that doesn't seem to happen. And statistically, 72% of adults right now in the United States are overweight, and 40% of children are overweight. And it's getting worse and worse. It's not getting any better. We're trying to use a lot of modalities, but it's not helping, unfortunately. And statistics are rising. And it's scary, especially in children. I used to work in pediatric clinic at some point, and almost every third kid that was coming in was having issues with obesity. And diabetes was predominantly thought, type 2 diabetes, that it was related to age. We were having kids coming in at age of 9 and 10 and 12 having type 2 diabetes, which is related to excess weight and related to improper nutrition. So our American health crisis, that's the World Health Organization definition, is 90% of all diseases prevalent today are not treatable with orthodox medical procedures. That's not true. Common belief is once you have diabetes, you're stuck with it for the rest of your life. If you have hypertension, stuck with it for the rest of your life. We have living proof patients that come in. I don't discuss it with the patient as managing your diabetes or managing your hypertension or managing your weight. We talk about reversing diabetes, reversing weight gain, reversing hypertension. So the goal is not to try to manage it and let the person have it for the rest of their life. Goal is to help them to reverse it so they could go back and have and enjoy their life and could continue living healthy. Once we put them on the right path, once we reverse their symptoms, they could continue living their happy life. They don't have to be sick and take medication for the rest of their life. 90% of Americans will be overweight by 2030. That's a statistic that's showing if we will be going into the same train of thought, and if we are going into the same direction, things are getting worse. And the problem gets worse because partially of our lifestyle, right? Let's take a look at my favorite patient, Sally. She gets busier, very fast-paced lifestyle. I actually wrote a book that was released 2 years ago. It's called Health and Wellness for Busy Women, because I notice in a lot of my clients, and when I offer them different modalities, changing diet, changing lifestyle, I will hear the same excuse over and over: we don't have time. So I kind of